Timmerman ready to work out of that windup. First pitch of the ball game. A called strike right on time, 6:03 p.m. here in the capital city of Nebraska.
Yeah, Inoue digging in here for the Wildcats, a .310 average on the season. Hit 6 for 13 last weekend.
Timmerman fools him on a changeup, 82 miles an hour, well ahead in the count. 0-2 as he's batting .310 on the season is Inoue.
Yeah, had 3 doubles last weekend, 1 in each game. Unsuccessful series for the Wildcats, but a good one for Inoue himself.
Uptight to Inoue, it's now 1-2. Well, you look at Tucker Timmerman. He's up there on the team lead with games. This is now number 18, one of the reliable arms out of the bullpen. 1-2, missing inside. And the count evens up at 2 apiece. But you got to remember, he missed a significant amount of time during the early parts of last year after being hit in the face by a baseball on a comebacker, and made his way back and has been pitching just as good, if not better, as he skips one in to run the count full.
Yeah, last year in his sophomore season, Timmerman had a .582 ERA. This year so far, he's sitting at .394 in his 29 2/3 inning of work, which is just about where he was at last year as well. So definitely some improvement so far this year for Timmerman.
Payoff is fouled off of the foot of Inoue. He's going to take a second to regather his thoughts. He has that protector there on the front foot. See where this one get him. Not much padding there on the inside part of the foot.
Yeah, that one right there. That's why they wear the pad, though, down there on the front foot for Inoue. Looked like it got a good amount of that guard, but it still hurts even through the guard for Inoue, but he'll be stepping back in for the Wildcats.
Early fight here, payoff pitch. Drilled into the shift and right at Rhett Stokes, who plays it in the air for out number 1.
And that's just perfect positioning right there for the Huskers in the shift. Stokes playing deep at second base there, and it goes right to him, able to make an easy play and record the first out.
The rest of that defense behind Timmerman includes in the outfield Jet Buck in left, Mac Moyer in center, and Drew Grigo in right. Joshua Overbeek is at third. Dylan Carey is at short. Case Sanderson is at first. You already saw Rhett Stokes make the play there. And catching for Tucker Timmerman is Jeter Wordley. Here is D. Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy, we touched on him in the pregame. He's been the star for the Wildcats, leading the team in average and homers so far this year.
Having one whale of a season. There's a look at the defense for Will Bolt. Overbeek at third, Carey at short, Stokes at second, Sanderson at first on the infield. 1-1. Ripped on the ground out towards short, Carey. Long throw across, the pick by Sanderson, and that is out number 2. A couple of nifty defensive plays for Nebraska.
Yeah, and the shift working once again there for the Huskers. They were shifted over towards left field that time with Kennedy at the plate, and he has speed down the first base line, but a nice play over there by Carey to record the out.
Calling the balls and strikes tonight is Jake Bruner. The rest of his crew is Aaron Christians at first, Jeff Hendricks at second, and Greg Harmon over at third. Umpiring crew for this Tuesday midweek. Folks still settling in here in Lincoln. 2 away for Micah Kendrick. First pitch missing to Kendrick, batting .304 on the season. It's kind of a back and forth, left, right, left for Timmerman in these first 6, and then the bottom third of the order is all right-handed. On the ground, playable for Sanderson, backs up. He'll toss it on to Timmerman covering, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for the Nebraska native.
For the Wildcats.
And there you saw a little bit of light rain has started to fall. Not expecting much, but they are definitely getting wet out there on the ball diamond. In tight to Mac Moyer. 1 ball, no strikes. Moyer on the season batting .393, up near the top of the Big Ten in batting average. How did he avoid this one?
Good thing we got that camera down there, as that one looks real close from up here. Nice job by Moyer to spin out of the way of that one.
1-0, shot right at third base umpire Greg Harmon. He avoids the contact. Put a little Joe West show on down there.
Yeah, and Moyer, a great hitter for the Huskers, leading the team in average at .393, and he shows his bat-to-ball skills right there. Couldn't straighten that one out, but almost was able to find the line for what would have likely been a double.
1-1, Guyette out of the stretch, right back where it came from. Kennedy ranging over, he's quick, bobbles, and he will not have a play. Just like the first inning of Friday night's start for Guyette, D. Kennedy commits an error, and there's a runner on.
Yeah, and the speed from Moyer is on display right there as he's flying down the first base line, causing D. Kennedy to rush, working towards his left, and he couldn't quite corral it on the first try, and then didn't have a throw as Moyer was already on his way to first.
So now here's Jeter Wordley, the catcher, has been going back and forth from being behind the dish and designated hitting. It's hard to keep his bat out of the lineup after the turnaround he had after his first 15 games or so. First pitch, a strike from Guyette. He was in the dumps in his first 15 games, below the Mendoza line, and then had an epiphany during the Wichita State series and the following weekend after that. As Mac Moyer needs to tie his shoe, his batting average jumped almost 200 points, and he moved from the 9-hole up to the 2-hole where he is currently hitting now behind Moyer. Just very hard to keep Worthley's bat out of the lineup if you're Will Bolt.
Yeah, and he recorded his first homer of his collegiate career last weekend over in Champaign, went 3 for 8 on the weekend. So definitely someone that's coming along in his freshman year.
Check over at first. Worthley, like you mentioned, just a freshman from over at Lincoln East. Nebraska continues to have good homegrown talent. You have a Nebraska native on the mound and a Nebraska native catching him. 0-1 bunt laid down. This one trickles slowly. The play from Madliak behind the dish is not in time. An infield single for Jeter Wordley. Nebraska has 2 on with nobody out.
Yeah, and you saw right there, Madliak got over that ball, and as he picked it up, he took a glance over towards second base and hesitated on whether he was going to throw that to second or to first, and that was just enough time for the speedy freshman backstop to get down the line, and now the Huskers have 2 runners on without getting a ball out of the infield.
So now here's Case Sanderson. As you might hear when you're walking around Hawksfield at Haymarket Park, Case on base, north of 500 in the on-base percentage. First pitch swinging. It's over at first. Murray going to have 1 play. Guyette covering. Case Sanderson does a job. 2 in scoring position, 1 away.
Yeah, and that first at-bat from Moyer was ruled a single.
Ball to the backstop. Here comes Moyer. The flip home gets away. Wordley broke home, but he'll stay at third. Wordley moves up to third base. Carey lays off, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, and with the runner 90 feet away here, Carey, if he's able to get this one out of the infield, could potentially set up the sac fly for Jeter Wordley. On that play at home, Guyette was coming home, and he kind of slid in to try to make the tag, and that ended up making the ball go by him. Luckily, Wordley did not advance for the Wildcats.
This one's in tight, and it bounces away from Madliak. He has no idea, and Nebraska's up 2-0.
Yeah, and just the fielding errors are starting to cause problems for Kansas State already here in the first inning. We talked about how we had a little bit of rain coming down out there. Kennedy struggled with the ball up the middle from Moyer, and now Madliak could not catch that one. The first one he had no chance, was behind the batter, but a couple of mistakes from Kansas State, and Nebraska did a great job of taking advantage to jump out to a 2-0 lead here.
So now the bases are empty, and it's a 3-0 count to Dylan Carey. He's going to take ball 4, and Guyette just does not have control right now on the mound. Has been DHing a bunch since. First pitch just missing.
Yeah, he's really started to step into that role after coming back. Last weekend, Jeske was 4 for 12 with a double and 2 runs for the Huskers as he's kind of taken over in that starting spot now in the lineup.
There's a strike for Guyette. Try to get him settled back in. Rain continues to come down here in Lincoln, but nothing that we think will interfere with play, at least stop it. It is coming down just a bit harder, though. 1-1, sent foul to the Nebraska dugout. It's always difficult to try to play a game in rain where you have to have such control over what you're doing. Pitchers, they like to keep their hand dry. Hitters, you got to be able to hang on to the bat.
Yeah, and Carey over there at first getting some aggressive leads. He has 7 stolen bases on the year, so we'll see what he does here in a 1-2 count.
He runs. Jeske is able to get a piece of it. No, they're going to call this a strikeout as Will Jeske swings through it. Dylan Carey will steal second, and Jeske, the stolen base, does not count. So you take a look at the swing here. Hit off the wrist of Jeske.
Yeah, it looked like it did get the right wrist of Jeske, so a good call behind the plate from our umpire, Jake Bruner.
Not one you see every day, the dead ball strikeout. There's 2 away now for Jet Buck, though. Carey standing at first. He's going to send a shot out towards center field, breaking back, and now coming in is Carl, the right fielder Kendrick, and the ball drops. Through the raindrops, here comes Carey around third. The ball bobbled on the infield. Nebraska leads it 3-0.
And another error there from the K-State defense. That one will more than likely go down as an error from the right fielder, Kendrick, as that is a tough look for Kansas State, and Guyette just can't seem to catch a break on the mound for the Wildcats. And now a 2-out rally potentially brewing with the Huskers as they're able to keep the bats up, and Overbeat coming to the plate.
Kendrick had a long way to go through the raindrops on slick grass and just about got leather on that baseball, as it is officially scored a fielding error. That is Kendrick's first of the year. And now Joshua Overbeek. Same situation as the last time. 2 outs, 1 on, except Nebraska now leads 3-0.
Yeah, and you can see Overbeek with the pine tar on that helmet dripping in the rain here in Lincoln.
Wave and a miss there. It's 0-1. Guyette almost having to do everything himself in this inning. He's gotten a ground out and a strikeout. He was involved in both of them. As the ground out was to first, he covered first base.
Yeah, definitely not what you like to see from the rest of your fielders so far for Guyette.
Outside, 1-1. Up to 17 pitches now. Definitely not a comfortable first inning. 3 runners have scored for Nebraska. Moyer and Worthley both singled to get on, and they both crossed the plate thanks to wild pitches. Overbeek lays off. 2 balls, 1 strike. The switch hitting third baseman.
Yeah, Overbeek in his 3rd year here in Lincoln. Spent his first year at Pitt and then a year at Cisco College before coming over to Nebraska.
Evens up the count here, 2-2. Guyette trying to get back to the dugout. You can see the back of that jersey with the grays for Kansas State starting to get a little wet. There's an even better representation.
Big pitch here and a 2-2 for Overbeek to try to keep the rally going for the Huskers.
Long pause, now the 2-2 home. Overbeek watches it downstairs, and now Jet Buck will be off with the pitch at first base on the full count. You've got Drew Grigo looming in the on-deck circle for Nebraska. Last week's National Freshman Hitter of the Week. Big payoff pitch upcoming from Guyette. Overbeek can't get the bat off his shoulders. Guyette with 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the first.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
High point the last inning, but now it seems to be calming down a little bit.
Gallagher takes strike 1 from Tallahassee, Florida. One of the many seniors on this squad for Pete Hughes. Watches the count go even. Was a member of the All-SoCon second team last year with East Tennessee State. 10 multi-hit games as a Wildcat. Over at the hot corner today. 1-2 now to Gallagher.
Yeah, Timmerman's had a really good outing so far. Faced the minimum through the first 2 innings. and is ahead on Gallagher 1-2 to start out the third.
Looking for strikeout number 2. Instead, this will be popped over towards the parking lot. Off the roof and into the third row.
Right behind the dugout there, the catch was made by a fan. That one was about as high as you can get it without getting it out of the park here, as it hit off the very top of the structure here at Haymarket Park.
Downstairs, 2-2. So you're saying would have been a home run in an elevator shaft?
Potentially.
It was a high pop-up. We continue to battle the elements here on a Tuesday night. Glad you're with us. 2-2. Drilled out towards the gap in right center field. Moyer ranging over. He is not going to get there as it hops off the top of the wall. Moyer hits the deck, but he's able to get a throw in and hold Gallagher to a double. That ball was a rocket out into the gap.
Yeah, and we saw the conditions right there out in center field as Moyer took a slip trying to slow down and pick up that ball off the wall. Luckily, he was able to get it in pretty fast, and Gallagher was not able to advance any farther than second base, which he probably would have been safely in anyways.
So there is officially the first base runner for Kansas State after Tucker Timmerman stole a base runner in the second inning. And now he'll be forced to go out of the stretch for the first time today. First pitch is upstairs to Nick English, the left fielder in today's contest. Has been up and down with the Wildcats. You look at his batting average as a freshman. He was batting .249, and then last year in 20 less games, batting .174 as he goes around there for strike number 1. This year so far, he's played even fewer games with only 20, but his batting average is as high as it's ever been at .313.
Yeah, and last weekend against Kansas, he was 1 for 9, which isn't that great, but he was able to work 4 walks.
Staying alive here.
Able to work 4 walks in the series against the Jayhawks, so a 5 for 13 in terms of on-base percentage. That will boost you up a lot, and he's really started to step into his role as the season's continued for the Wildcats.
He is 1 for his last 14. He's looking to get back on the positive side of things.
The 484 OBP on the year for English.
Check out the runner at second. 1-2 is drilled high and deep into the area towards the right field foul pole. Grigo settles under it in foul territory. He makes the out, but tagging and advancing to third will be Gallagher.
Yeah, now with only 1 out and the runner 90 feet away, a great opportunity for the Wildcats to break through and break the shutout that Timmerman has had going so far through 2 1/3.
Yeah, Timmerman, after stealing that out there in the second, was perfect through 2. And of course, if you remember a couple of years ago, Jackson Brockett threw a no-hitter against the Kansas State Wildcats about this time of the year for Nebraska. Not going to have that tonight, but Timmerman responds with a first pitch strike to the 9-hole hitter, Chandler Murray.
Yeah, Chandler Murray hasn't seen a whole lot of time for the Jayhawks so far this year. Only 34 at-bats in 8 starts in 22 games played. He did go 1 for 4 last weekend against Kansas.
Pitch missing. It's 1-1. Murray from Honolulu, Hawaii. Spent last summer with the Tri-State Coalcats of the Appalachian League. Had a 6-game hitting streak until it was ended on Sunday, trying to start a new one here. He's ahead in the count 2-1. Three runs early for Nebraska in the bottom of the first, and we've been scoreless since. First scoring chance of the evening for the Wildcats. On deck would be Shintaro Inoue, trying to flip the lineup card back to the top. 1 away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Timmerman, tapped over the head of the pitcher. Stokes, a Jeter-esque play, and back-to-back innings with a stellar defensive highlight reel for Nebraska. A run does score But what a play by Rhett Stokes.
Yeah, and the Huskers, the infield was playing back there. They were pretty much conceding that run at third on any ball in play. Nice job by the 9-hole hitter for the Wildcats to get it in play, but then Rhett Stokes does an even better job working all the way to his right. As you mentioned, Jeter-esque jumping. He's on the wrong side of second base and uses the arm strength to make the play.
First pitch misses to Inouye. You wonder if Stokes is unable to make that play, the kind of pressure that you feel if you're Timmerman on the mound, giving up your first run and only getting one out.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge play as it empties the base pass. And now you can really feel like you can restart with 2 outs here if you're Timmerman at the top of the order against Inouye. He lined out over towards Stokes his first time up.
There's a strike. It's 2-1. So Inouye from Yamaguchi, Japan. Actually has ties to Nebraska. Even count here 2-2. Played a couple of years at Western Nebraska Community College out in Scotts Bluff. Has since made the move to Manhattan. Trying to stay alive here in the third. 2-2 from Timmerman. Poked softly. Carey picks it off of the wet dirt and sends it on to Sanderson for out number 3. And 1, I should correct myself, is the record here for the Cornhuskers at Hawksfield at Haymarket Park. The only loss to Kansas as the K-State bullpen starts to work just a little bit. Guyette back out there for his 3rd inning of work, fires a strike to Jeter Worthley. Got the second of the first 2 singles in that first inning. It was in bunt fashion. Speedy catcher, able to leg one out. He would eventually score on a wild pitch. So now Worthley has 40 hits on the year after picking up his first home run down in Champaign over the weekend. Right back where it came from, Guyette takes a sigh of relief as Worthley rounds first with his 2nd single of the day. That was dangerous.
Yeah, before that outing against Kansas, Guyette had gone 7 and 6 innings in his previous 2 starts, so definitely someone that can work deep into ball games if he's pitching well. But right there, Worthley takes him right back up the middle. Only 36 pitches so far for Guyette, so not terrible as he's been able to keep the pitch count down, but has given up 3 runs. And if the Husker bats are able to get to him again, you could potentially see the pitching change being made.
Case Sanderson had a productive out number 1 in the first inning. The ground out over to first base advanced Moyer and Worthley to 2nd and 3rd. As now Sanderson tries to pick up his first hit on the day. He's got 60. A lot of round numbers right now for the Cornhusker bats.
Yeah, an exact 500 OBP for Sanderson as well right now. So flip a coin, and last time he wasn't able to get on base. So the odds would tell you Sanderson going to get on base as he's worked ahead 2-0 in the count against Guyette.
Big wave and a miss by Case Sanderson. You look at Nebraska as a whole, batting .317 as a team. And their fielding percentage, one of the best in the NCAA at .983. Two now as that pitch catches the bottom of the zone. Sanderson, when you look over the weekend against Illinois, went 4 for 11, 2 runs scored, 2 driven in. Currently on a 16-game on-base streak. Check over to first. Also on a 7-game hitting streak. That is his longest of the season.
Yeah, and you mentioned Nebraska with that great fielding percentage. We've seen it already 2 times today, and a big hole out towards third base for Sanderson potentially here.
Another throw to first with 2 outs. The infield has completely shifted to the right. You've got the third baseman Gallagher playing in the normal shortstop spot, and the shortstop Kennedy playing towards the second base bag with Inoue kind of sandwiched in between. Not expecting a bunt with 2 strikes. As Guyette runs the count full.
And Sanderson is a great batter in terms of discipline. He's really good at knowing his strike zone. That's why he has a 500 OBP, and he's also great at fouling balls off with 2 strikes. We'll see a big pitch coming here from Guyette.
Wordley takes off. This is sent the opposite way out of the shift. Wordley continues to motor on home before Lance Harvell throws up the stop sign at third. It's a double for Case Sanderson, and Nebraska has 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Perfect piece of hitting.
Yeah, and I mentioned that big gap over there on the third base side, and Case Sanderson takes perfect advantage of it there.
Wordley takes
Inside
off. This
pitch
is
that he does a great job of pulling his hands in and slapping the other way down the third base line. Nice job out there in left field by English to get the ball in and hold Worthley up at third. But now 2 runners in scoring position and nobody gone as the Huskers are looking to build on this 3-1 lead.
Infield plays in with Dylan Carey at the plate. You've got Inoue basically playing in front of the second base bag. Kennedy playing in the running lane over at shortstop. Gallagher playing just a bit behind the third base bag. Only 1 man on the right side of the diamond on the infield. It's Murray. A high fly ball out towards center field. Carl ranging under it. Should be deep enough to score Wordley. He tags. Both runners are going to try to advance, and the throw is off at third. A sacrifice fly for Dylan Carey brings home another run for Nebraska. They're still threatening with only 1 out.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there by Carey, doing his job, getting the ball up in the air out towards center field and getting a sac fly. Would have liked to have a hit there to continue to climb that hits list that we talked about in the pregame, but Carey will not care about his individual stats more than the team as he's able to move the runners up, and even a perfect throw probably wouldn't have got Sanderson there at third. So the Huskers a great chance to potentially score 1 more with only 1 out and a runner 90 feet away from putting them up by 4.
It is 4-1. As Jeske sends that one into the screen. That was clear in on the hands, similar to his last at-bat when he had a dead ball strikeout. Jeske from Lincoln Southeast in his junior season. Has played all over the place, was a catcher, and then with the addition of Jeter Wordley, moved to the outfield and dealt with an injury a little bit. Now he's back healthy and watches strike 2.
Yeah, you see the K-State defense here playing in, already down by 3, does not want to give up any more runs if they can allow it. Inoue with his feet on the grass. The other 3 infielders a little bit farther back.
Jeske looking for his first hit against the Wildcats this season as he fouls that one off of his lower body. He was 0 for 4 down in Texas when these 2 teams met up for the first time and did not play down in Manhattan. Guyette approaching 50 pitches. This next one will be number 48 here in the 3rd. Downstairs, it's 1-2.
Yeah, good eye there from Jeske to keep running this pitch count up on Guyette and continue to make that bullpen work for Kansas State. The earlier you can get it to the bullpen, the much better off these hitters are going to be for the Huskers.
Watches a breaking ball. It's 2-2. Will Jeske, with runners in scoring position, is batting .450 on the year. Prime opportunity to bring Sanderson home from third. It was single, double, sac fly to start this 3rd inning. 2-2 misses outside.
And a great job here by Jeske to fight back in this count and now make it full, forcing Guyette to bring him a pitch in the zone, and the command has gone a little bit for James Guyette.
Another pressure pitch for the Kansas State hurler. Guyette brings it. And Jeske draws a walk. He's fired up as he trots down to first. There's runners at the corners with only 1 away.
And after that pitch, saw head coach for the Wildcats, Pete Hughes, step back down into the dugout, potentially making a call down to the bullpen, as now runners on the corners and a huge opportunity for the transfer Husker, Jet Buck.
Buck on a 3-game hitting streak coming into today. Takes strike one. His longest on the season was 9. He's fit right in. Here in Lincoln, Kansas City native. Stops at KCC and Washburn. 0-1, free swinging, and now it's 0-2. Was a second-team All-American by the NCBWA. Among the leaders in the Big Ten in his first season in the conference.
Yeah, in his 5th season of collegiate ball, hit 21 homers last year in his final season at Washburn, which helped him make the jump up to the Big Ten, where he has 7 homers so far this year for the Huskers.
0-2, again free swinging, and Buck comes out of his shoes. Another strikeout for Guyette, and there's 2 away.
And that was a great breaking ball from Guyette, absolutely running away on the slider from Jet Buck and getting him to reach way outside of the zone. And a huge second out, as now a force at second or first gets them out of this inning with limited damage.
That is 4 strikeouts now for Guyette. Overbeak sends one off of the shoulder of Guyette. The throw across the diamond is in time. Make sure he's okay.
Get a trip out to a regional and try to keep the season alive.
14 of their last 15 are quad 1. And now for the middle innings, here's Ethan McIntoon.
And we are here with D. Kennedy in the box for Kansas State, looking for his 20th homer still, trying to join the 2020 club for the Wildcats. He would be the original member in K-State as he fouls off the second pitch, and immediately Timmerman works ahead on the 2-hole hitter for K-State, 0-2. It's been a great outing so far for Timmerman, 47 pitches, only giving up 1 run. And the 0-2 is in there for strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Kennedy didn't like the call, but he'll go sit down, and a quick first out from Timmerman and the Huskers.
Yeah, this was a great sequence by Tucker Timmerman to be able to kind of confuse Kennedy a little bit. He's going to run one back over the heart of the plate with a fastball, and I don't know exactly what Kennedy is looking for on that. That's a pretty hittable pitch.
And the first pitch is going to be a ball to Kendrick. That was a really good fastball there from Timmerman to strike out Kennedy. As you could see on that nice replay, it worked back towards the outside part of the plate and caught it. And that one's going to be outside, and the count moved to 2-0 now on the K-State right fielder.
Yeah, you see Timmerman working pretty quick. Just don't want him to go too quick and underthink some pitches. You don't want to overthink as a pitcher in any capacity because bad things happen, but Timmerman has some pace out there on the hill.
Yeah, and he threw a strike on the third pitch, and here comes the fourth pitch of the at-bat. That one swung towards left field, and it will get down for a single from Kendrick. The second hit of the game for this Wildcats lineup, and they now have a runner on base with 1 gone, and the backstop, Madliak, coming up to the plate for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kendrick's just going to do a good job and put this one the opposite way as a left-handed bat. When you're going the opposite way, you really feel like you have the control up at the plate. You're not letting the pitcher fool you with anything. Also, the pitch was just a bit outside, so instead of trying to pull it and popping it up, you send it the opposite way, you get the easy hit, and now you trust your guys behind you.
Now we got Madliak here. We saw him throw out Moyer to end the second inning. Had a little bit of trouble in the first inning behind the plate, flew out at the plate in the second inning, so he's had a good amount of action so far today. Now a chance with 1 runner on. Take the first pitch for a strike. The second one's going to be outside for a ball. And the count will now be 1-1 to Bear Madliak. Kendrick at first, 3 Huskers on the third base side of the infield. Worthley having a little bit of trouble catching that pitch, but it stays right in front of him, and Kendrick won't advance. It will be a 2-1 count, though, to Madliak.
Yeah, still just a little bit of a light mist falling now. It's not quite the heavy rain that we saw earlier, but definitely going to continue to play tricks on the baseball. It's going to be very important to keep your pitching hand dry, to keep your bat dry, and to really have as much control as you can over what you can control.
Yeah, Timmerman's been doing pretty well so far in the 2-1s in there. A hesitant swing from Madliak. Not what you want to be doing in the batter's box, and a good pitch from Timmerman to even the count at 2-2. The 2-2 to Madliak. That one gonna get him as the first base umpire, Aaron Christians, rules that he went around on the check swing, and Timmerman records a huge strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, you're going to see he's going to double up with what he got on strike 2. It's another breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Bear Madliak offered at the first one. He's going to offer at the second one. And a punch out by Aaron Christians over at first.
Now Timmerman going to be working against the Kansas State DH, Ty Smolinski. Smolinski, first pitch swinging that one deep out towards the gap. Moyer giving chase, but it's going to be gone as Ty Smolinski hits a huge home run for the Wildcats and cuts the Husker lead down to just 1 run. The Nebraska native Ty Smolinski with a big swing to open up this offense for the Wildcats.
Smolinski went up there searching for a fastball, and he got it. Middle, drilled it out towards the 400 sign. That's one of the deepest parts of the ballpark here at Hawksfield at Haymarket Park. You take a look at this. That ball was squared up on the barrel, and I think Smolinski knew that it was gone. Great piece of hitting.
Yeah, and you could see on that replay the way his face just drops as he felt that one right on the sweet spot. Beautiful swing, got the pitch exactly where he wanted it. And Ty Smolinski absolutely barreled that one up to the right center gap. And just like that, the Wildcats are only 1 run back with Caden Carl, the center fielder, in the box. He does fall behind 0-2, though, to start this at-bat against Timmerman.
So that's now 3 home runs that Timmerman has allowed. Not a crazy number, but just one of those that you like to be as small as possible as a pitcher.
Yeah, not a bad number at all so far this year for Timmerman, as he's over 30 innings on the season. That's less than a homer every 9 innings. And the first ball of the count comes there as it goes to 1-2. Caden Carl looking to keep the bats hot against Timmerman. He swings that one over towards the shortstop carry. He'll field and get it to first. Sanderson makes the play, and we are out of the top of the 4th.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
This bullpen staff that we're going to see later on tonight are going to be able to hold it together for Nebraska. First pitch from Manel is going to be outside as he's working against the 7-hole hitter Gallagher.
Well, I don't want to eat my words, Ethan, but the last time these two teams met up, Nebraska threw 9 different pitchers in a game that was back and forth, ended up being a Nebraska win 14-9 down in Manhattan.
Yeah, I could definitely see a lot of arms going out there today for Nebraska if the bullpen starts to get a little bit wild, as they're already turning it over here in the 5th inning.
Kansas State used 6 during that last meeting. So there was a lot of bullpen calls down in Manhattan about a month ago.
Yeah, 5 innings of work left for the Nebraska bullpen. And the 1-2 misses outside, so the count will move to 2-2 against Gallagher.
And for Nebraska, this is one of their better bullpens they've had in a while. ERA of around 4. That's usually going to get you places.
The 2-2 goes behind Gallagher, and the count will now be full. We saw the pitch miss behind Carey earlier in the first inning, and that ended up scoring a Husker runner. Luckily for Nebraska, there's no K-State runners on base. The full count pitch from Manel is wild, and Grant Gallagher is going to reach first on a leadoff walk. You mentioned the walk numbers not being great for Manel, and he shows his inaccuracy there to open up his first batter.
Well, and he's going to go back to the back of the mound and clean off his spikes. After ball 3 and ball 4, he looked down at the landing area. The grounds crew did go out and do some work on it before the start of the 3rd inning, but we've had a little bit more moisture since then, and nothing has changed.
English showing bunt, pulls it back, and then Worthley almost was able to get the back pick on the runner Gallagher there, but nice job by Gallagher to slide back in safely. The first pitch was a ball. English popped out in the 3rd inning. Second pitch going to be a ball as well, and now the freshman Jeter Worthley is going to take a quick trip out to the bump to talk to his new pitcher, Kevin Manel, just try to calm him down. Manel coming in out of the bullpen and struggling with the command to start off. Worthley going to just try to get him to dial it in here. If he's just able to find some strikes, the defense can work behind him.
Yeah, and Caleb Clark, the lefty, has started loosening for Nebraska out in the bullpen. You don't want to have a revolving door of a bullpen on a night like tonight where everybody has to get warm and face the elements, but Manel just does not have confidence in that fastball right now.
The 2-0 to Nick English. That one's going to be in there for a strike, and this is especially the part of the order where you want to have your command against the 7, 8, 9, the bottom of the order for the Wildcats. You do not want to be giving away free passes with the top of the order and D. Kennedy coming up soon. That one going to be a ball. The Husker faithful thought it might have caught the zone, but now a 3-1 count to the left fielder for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and English doing a good job being patient. He saw the couple of wild pitches to Gallagher. He's going to force Manel to throw a strike.
English taking off in a big swing there. Gallagher taking off, excuse me. English sends it deep to left field, and it's gone. Nick English with a home run to put the Wildcats ahead 5-4. A big shot from English, and the Wildcats jump ahead for the first time tonight.
Well, I said he was going to make him throw a strike, and Manel threw a strike all right. English got all of this baseball over the 356 sign out towards the flags.
It's sitting at that 7:31 mark, so definitely has not been the same effect as he was last year for the Huskers. First pitch to Murray is going to be swung on and fouled back. The 9-hole coming in here for Kansas State as they're getting ready to flip the lineup with a 1-run lead. Chandler Murray playing first base tonight for the Wildcats. Second pitch is going to be outside, and the count will even up at 1-1.
So both pitches so far from Clark have been on that outside part of the plate, and you see when he toes the rubber, he's clear over on the first base side. That's not quite as common for a left-handed pitcher. They usually like to hang out over on the third base side because it gives their outside, so-to-so pitches a little bit more of the heart of the plate, and then they can really pitch into right-handed hitters. But Clark likes to go cross-body, similar to Manel, but he's got more of a traditional delivery.
And the third pitch of the at-bat was high for ball 2, but that one's cut on and missed. And the count goes to 2-2 now against Chandler Murray. Clark getting ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch to Murray. It's on its way, and that one's going to be outside, and the count will move full.
And Caleb Clark, these K-State bats have seen him once already this year. Back in March, he threw the final inning of that game, giving up a hit and a run on 2 walks.
The payoff pitch on its way. Outside, and another walk worked by the bottom of this K-State order. Murray reaches first, and there's still nobody gone with traffic on the base paths for the top of the order in Shintaro Inoue.
Not exactly how you want to start your outing if you're Caleb Clark. You got to face the top of the order now. You're in there to face Inoue. There's 3 lefties coming up in the next 5 hitters, so this should work out favorably for Clark. But Nebraska's bullpen kind of standing there out in left field, wondering if they need to get hot again.
And first pitch to Inoue is in there for a strike from Clark. Seems he's had a little bit better command than we saw from Manel. He's been able to find the strike zone. He had 2 strikes on Murray before letting him get away in a first pitch strike to Inouye. Second pitch to Inouye is going to be outside, and the count will even up at 1-1.
And now the action that was going on down in the Kansas State bullpen has picked up again. It hadn't been going on. We saw Arnold throwing down there, a righty. You almost wonder if maybe you can squeeze one more inning out of Guyette.
Taking off is Murray, but that one will be fouled off by Inouye up into the second deck here at Haymarket Park, and the count will move to 1-2. Shintaro Inouye had a double in all 3 games over the weekend against Kansas, so he's riding a 3-game double streak for the K-State second baseman. The 1-2 to Inouye. That one's well outside, and the count will move to 2-2.
So where we saw Manel struggle with some fastball command, now Clark using that breaking ball. That was a big sweeping breaking ball, though. It wasn't one that was tight and close to the plate. You've got to keep it close with some of these left-handed hitters.
Now we saw Murray running on the 1-1 pitch that was fouled off, so Clark gonna make the left-handed move over towards first base, but Murray's able to slide back safely.
Murray has swiped a bag. He's 1 for 1 on the year.
And the 2-2 swung on, and it will be foul tipped but caught by Worthley for strike 3 in a huge first out for the Huskers as they finally record the first one of the inning, and D. Kennedy coming up into the box for Kansas State.
And this is going to be one of the more pressure-filled at-bats for Caleb Clark. D. Kennedy, he only needs that 1 home run to be in the 2020 club. He's facing a lefty, which is the more comfortable side. As a right-handed hitter, everything breaks into you. You're able to drop the bat and get down and golf things. This is going to be dangerous. We'll see how closely Clark pitches to the All-American caliber of D. Kennedy.
And the 1-0 is swung on hard by Kennedy. It's high in the sky out towards right field. Grigo camped underneath it. He'll make the catch. Tagging up from first is going to be Murray. The throw is in, and on the bounce, Carey couldn't quite find it. So Murray will reach second on the tag. You don't see that very often, but now a runner in scoring position and 2 outs for the 3-hole hitter in Kendrick and the Wildcats.
No, you don't see that very often at all, especially with a ball in right field. Sometimes you see it in left field if it's over by the pole, but you'd think that Grigo had the correct line, and the throw was just off by a little bit. If that throw's on target, they have a chance to double up Murray, but now you get an insurance run in scoring position with 2 outs.
Now, very aggressive base running there from Murray. We saw him take off to attempt to steal in the Inouye at bat, and then he takes off to tag for second base. And that one wasn't even that deep towards Grigo either. He was pretty solidly in the middle of right field, but Murray does reach. And the first 2 pitches to Kendrick are in there for a strike after walking Murray in his first batter. A great job by Clark to dial in and find the strike zone against the top of the Kansas State order. And the 1-2 fouled off by Kendrick, and it will stay at 0-2.
Early on in the season, we saw Caleb Clark get fired up with some strikeouts like this, especially opening night. He had a big inning to shut down the offense. See if he can do it again here.
Taking off, but a swing and a miss on the 0-2, and Clark gets out of it, giving up 0 by himself. But Kansas State scores 2 in the top of the 5th, and it's a 5-4 Wildcat lead after 4.5 innings of play here from Haymarket. We're exactly halfway done with this one.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
The lefty Wordley is all the way over on the third base side of the pitching rubber here as he works the first pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, so he's more comfortable going off of the third base side. That allows the fastball and some of the breaking balls to start middle and drop inside versus start outside and drop middle.
And the second pitch swinging. Harmon almost made the catch on that one, but it was just over our head, and it will move the count to 1-1.
We would need a miracle to have a foul ball come into this window just based on where the netting is.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's really possible, as the second one is going to be a ball, and the count moved to 2-1. The rain's starting to pick up once again out here in Lincoln.
Yeah, either that or it would have to bounce.
That is a lot more possible with the concrete all around. That one driven hard by Madliak, and there's no doubt about it, out towards left field, over towards our friendly fan, but it's well over his head. And a 6-4 lead now for Kansas State as Madliak hits an absolute nuke. The 8th homer of the year for the Kansas State catcher. Yeah, light little bat flip there from Madliak as he absolutely pimped that one out towards left, no doubt about it, over the shed. I have not seen one of those in my days here at Haymarket. Haven't seen a whole lot of games, not the most experience, but an absolute pimp job from Bear Madliak, and the momentum is all on the Kansas State side as they are currently outscoring the Huskers 5-0 in these middle innings.
Yeah, this is now 4 straight innings with runs on the board for the Wildcats after Nebraska broke it open 3-0 in the first.
Now it's Ty Smolinski at the plate for Kansas State, 1 for 2 on the day. We mentioned he has the homer and then the ground out towards the first base line. Count is 2-1 to Smolinski.
I would love to know how far that home run traveled.
The 2-1 pitch going to be high, and the count moved to 3-1. Worthley struggling a little bit after giving up the homer to his first batter faced, and now falling behind 3-1 to Smolinski. Not at all what you want to see if you're holding this Husker bullpen, trying to figure out what they got going. The 3-1 is in there for a strike, and the count is now full. Nice job there from Worthley to just rear back and find the fastball in the strike zone. And now a huge full count pitch coming to Smolinski. He swings, that one's high towards right field. It's going to be in play. Grigo working in, and he puts the glove up and makes the catch to the right-handed batter's box for the Wildcats. That pitch swung on and fouled back on the first pitch of the AB. Carl was 2 for 12 with 3 RBIs and a homer over the weekend in Kansas, so we know he has that home run power. He has 6 so far on the year. K-State has already hit 3 homers so far in this game. That one's fouled off by Carl, and the count now quickly moves to 0-2. Worthley's doing a great job of pounding the zone as he's thrown 4 straight strikes.
Yeah, and only one hitter has double-digit home runs, and that's D. Kennedy. But with 3 extras today, they now have 75 as a team.
The 0-2 swung on and missed as Worthley rears back and records his first strikeout of the night. And after giving up the leadoff homer, back-to-back outs recorded by Worthley. And now it's going to be the 7-hole hitter Gallagher stepping into the box for the Wildcats. It's been a good day so far for Gallagher as he has a double and a walk, and he scored twice. That one in there for a strike, and he falls behind 0-1. The walk was in the 5th inning where he led it off for K-State. That one inside, and the count moved to 1-1. Worthley's ERA is now bumped up to 2.84 on the year. Gallagher hitting 2.95 on the year with 2 outs. The third baseman for K-State looks at the 1-1 pitch for strike 2.
Yeah, and Worthley looking for strikeout number 10 on the year. This would be a big one. You've still got a decent-sized crowd behind you if you're Jalen Worthley.
The 1-2 from Worthley, that one swung on. It will be fouled out of play here at Haymarket. The 1-2 once again from Worthley. That one's in play, very high out towards right field. Grigo camped under it, pitching a tent, puts the right hand up and makes the catch for the final out of the inning.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Overbeek watches strike number 1, had a single out to right field back in the 5th inning. Other than that, hard hit contact in the 3rd with a ground out and a strikeout looking way back in the 1st.
Yeah, a tough strikeout looking in the 1st inning, but in the 3rd he had that hot shot right back up the middle.
This one's less of a hot shot right in front of the plate. The throw is a bit low by Madliak, but it's dug out at first by Murray, but it did not come to pass as he is hit by this first pitch. Look at his numbers, 5 for 12 against the Illini. Fouling this one at the plate, 1-1.
Yeah, and he's grounded out, struck out, and flown out so far in this game. Pretty much found about every way you can make an out there, so he's going to hope to find a hit in the bottom of the 7th here.
Stokes does have a 5-game hitting streak on the line tonight from Roswell, New Mexico. Runner takes off. Grigo trying to swipe second on the swinging strike.
Trying to keep himself in the box as best as possible.
1-2 on the ground. This one a tough play for Gallagher, ranging over, the dart across, and it's dug out for out number 2. Grigo unable to advance on a ball in front of him.
Nice fielding there by Gallagher at 3rd, and now 2 outs, and K-State continues to work well with this bullpen.
It'll be Mac Moyer, 2 early singles, but has been held quiet since the 4th inning. 5th time through the order, starting for Nebraska. They have out-hit the Wildcats, yet they find themselves down 6-4. Well outside, ball 1.
Yeah, the infield playing Moyer pretty straight up here, but out in center field, you can see Carl kind of shifted towards left field, playing the opposite field shot from Moyer.
Back up the middle. Inouye can't grab it. Grigo is going to round 3rd, and Grigo is going to score. Mac Moyer's 3rd hit of the ball game brings Nebraska back within 1.
And that one right there going off the glove of Inouye slows it down and gives Carl no shot out in center field to throw out Grigo. An easy run for the Huskers, and now the hottest bat at the park stepping into the box.
Jeter Worthley, 4 of 4 with 4 singles. Pickoff over to first. The last time a Nebraska hitter had 5 hits in a game was actually this year. Dylan Carey had 5 against South Dakota State back in March 5th, 2026. He sends this one out towards center field. Falling down is Carl. This one's going to get all the way to the wall. Moyer charging home around 3rd. Here comes Worthley into 3rd. This game is tied on a triple by Jeter Worthley.
And the crowd here at Haymarket Park absolutely loving it. That one was roped by Jeter Worthley. We've talked about him just finding holes, using the soft contact to his advantage. Right there, he throws it over the head of the center fielder, Carl. Got tied up in between his own feet and fell down. Would have been a tough play anyway, as that one looked like it had him beat over the top. A triple for Jeter Worthley, and we are all tied up at 6.
The wet grass playing tricks on Carl in center field. Worthley with 5 hits in the contest. And now Case Sanderson tries to give Nebraska the lead. All of the production, mind you, happening with 2 outs. It was a ground out for out number 1, a hit by pitch, and another ground out. Back-to-back hits for the Cornhuskers as Sanderson swings through that one.
Yeah, and that causes Miles Smith's ERA to rise over 8 now on the season. A little bit surprised that they're keeping him in there. Just trying to get out of this inning, it seems.
Left-handed action in the Kansas State bullpen. There's a second strike to Sanderson. Had a frustrating at-bat back in the 6th where a high pitch was called a strike, and then he swung out on a very similar spot.
Yeah, and those type of at-bats are the things you can't let compound. You can't let that at-bat leak into this at-bat and then go and have a bad one here.
0-2, staying alive as he gets it into the screen. Waiting on deck is Dylan Carey. 2 walks tonight and a sacrifice fly. Huskers have not led since back in the 5th. They were leading, and then there was a 2-run home run hit by Nick English. This one bounces in but does not get away. Wordsley wisely stays put over at third. Good stop by Madliak to keep the go-ahead run still on the base paths.
Yeah, very attentive over there at third was Wordley. Took a nice secondary lead when he saw that ball bounce, but also a great job of not testing it there as he would have been well out.
1-2 now to Case Sanderson. Wave and a miss. Able to get out of it. Smith with a strikeout.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
A great case after the sweep here at home against USC, and then last week, not the greatest week, went down to Kansas on the road and lost to them for the second time this season, and then dropping a game to Illinois, but still able to pick up 2 wins in that series, and they actually rose in a lot of the rankings.
First pitch swinging here for Joshua Overbeek. Kansas State sitting 60 in the RPI, but still better than most of the opponents that Nebraska has faced. Illinois this past weekend is sitting at number 91.
The rain's starting to fall once again here in Lincoln.
Overbeek sends it foul. We've had off and on showers. The field was actually tarped until about an hour and 10 minutes before the game. Teams took batting practice inside the indoor facility at the Alex Gordon complex. Mother Nature playing tricks on us here at the end of April in Nebraska. 0-2, just misses. It's a ball and 2 strikes. This is still Miles Smith trying to eat another inning and send us to extras. Overbeek waits on the 1-2. That one above the letters. You can see that slight rain falling from our center field view as that pitch did not miss by much. Madliak did a great job presenting it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A line shot out towards the left center field gap. This one is down in front of English. Overbeek didn't stop. He's headed for second. He slides. The ball gets away. A hustle double for Joshua Overbeek. And the winning run is in scoring position.
Great play there by Overbeek. Didn't even think about stopping at first. He was thinking 2 the whole way. It was cut off short. And then the throw was a little bit wild. Inouye fell over, and it was actually a really nice play by Smith diving in backup. If that one gets past him towards the K-State dugout here, a potential chance for Overbeek to get up and get towards third, but he'll have to stay at second, and a great opportunity for the true freshman Drew Grigo to continue to build his legacy here in Lincoln.
Was the National Freshman Hitter of the Week last week. Corners pinched in to play Drew Grigo. First pitch swinging right to one of those pulled in corners. Gallagher looks back Overbeek, and Grigo is out number 1.
Yeah, and if you're K-State, that's exactly what you were looking for right there with the corners in. Hot shot right at your third baseman Gallagher, and he's able to make the play, look the runner back, and get it over to first, record the out without letting the runner advance. Huge out there for K-State, and now one down for Rhett Stokes.
Stokes is 0 for today. Ground out, strikeout, fly out, and another ground out is his line.
That means he's due.
Perfect opportunity for the first hit for Stokes today. Lays off the first pitch. Nebraska has been something of a comeback team when the lights are on here at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park. You remember Michigan State, they walked off on a Friday night. You remember USC, they were down early, walked off on a Friday night. This is a Tuesday under the lights in Lincoln. Hard on the ground and into left field. Stokes around first, Overbeek around third. Nebraska walks it off against the Kansas State Wildcats. Rhett Stokes, the hero.
It's a party here in Lincoln once again. Rhett Stokes running away from the Gatorade bath, but he can't get away for much longer as he gets dozed in some yellow Gatorade out there in center field, and now more water coming in. Another walk-off from Rhett Stokes, and the Huskers find a way to pick up another victory in this magical 2026 season.
It was wet, it was cold, it was rainy. And after giving up the lead, the Cornhuskers found a way to defend home turf and pick up win number 20 here at Hawks Field. It was a hot shot down the third base line, and that is how you can call this one over. Overbeek with the hustle double set it all up, and once again under the lights in Lincoln, Nebraska with a walk-off victory. The Cornhuskers now advancing to 34-11 on the season. Kansas State drops to 26-18. The Wildcats back in action this weekend at West Virginia before going to Missouri State. Nebraska will head out to Ohio State for their first series